Okay, it looks like we are live now. I'm sorry about that little error with. I kind of started a stream when I didn't mean to because I was still messing around with OBS and stuff like that. Um, Let me see something real quick. Sorry about that, guys. But we're live now. I think we are good. You have to forgive me. I haven't streamed in probably a couple months now. So, but we're good now. So, let me just try to remember how to get the damn chat going in OBS, because this is something I had to grapple with a couple of the last times I did streams. So, chat and OBS. Fuck. I'm trying to remember how you open the damn chat. Run OBS, use your browser to go to your channel, head over to the chat section, click on the settings icon at the bottom. Okay. Fuck. I'm sorry, just bear with me, guys. Just bear with me. I'm still, like I said, it's been a couple months, so I'm really rusty. I kind of have to relearn all this stuff, so I'll get it eventually. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, lock docs, reset, controls. Here we go, chat. Found it. Awesome. Alright. Broke the Guinness Book of World Record for quickest stream. Hey, Bell, how you doing? Neozoic, hey, bro. It's been a long time. You guys, I'm not quite as energetic. I literally just got back from the gym and getting some groceries, so, and plus I had a full work day today, so I'm a bit tired, but I still have the time to answer any of your questions or discuss any topics you would like me to. So, I figured I should fill you guys in on what I've been up to in the time that I have not made any videos. So, as you can see, I'm in a new place. I moved. I spent pretty much the last entire month moving. Yeah, it's pretty much been the last entire month. So let me just take my webcam off and just kind of show you around. Yep. This is my new place. It's pretty awesome. Has wooden paneling floors. My last apartment was kind of shitty. It had like a kind of a dirty ass carpet floor. Wasn't very good, especially considering they kept raising the rent to a ridiculous amount. The rent in this place is high, but it's worth it because I get washer dryer hookups. I got access to fairly high-speed internet. I'm using Sparklight now, so I can pretty much do pretty good quality streams now. So that's definitely something. But as you can imagine, that's taken up a huge portion of my time in the past couple months. So there it is. Let me see what people have been saying. Do you think the Indiana Jones series should have ended with Last Crusade? Oh boy, Indiana Jones 5. Dude, what is up with that title? The Dial of Destiny? Could they have picked a more weak and unimpressive sounding title? The Dial of Destiny? What is Indiana Jones gonna... Is Indiana Jones searching for like a giant payphone or some shit? It's so stupid. I'm very much against the idea of this film, especially considering Harrison Ford. He's what, 80 now? Good God. So I know for a fact that like when they do most of the action sequences, dude, I saw the trailer and it looks like 80% of all the action is CGI. And there's probably going to be a good bit of CGI used on Harrison Ford because he's 80 years old and he's not really in the shape to be doing like extended fight scenes and stunt work and shit. So that already makes it unappealing to me, because one of the reasons I love the original 3 movies so much is because they feature some of the most jaw-dropping, incredible, like practical action sequences in all of film. So, yeah, this Dial of Destiny, Dial M for Murder. That's what that title makes me think of. Makes me think of an Alfred Hitchcock film I'd rather be watching. What a fucking joke, man. Let's see. I was able to make it, just didn't know it would be at 8. Well, dude, it was originally going to be at 8, but I was driving home from the gym, then I realized, oh shit, I have to pick up some extra stuff. I had to pick up some litter for my cat. So I decided to delay it to 8:30. Candlestick, how's it going, dude? If Marvel had their own Suicide Squad, who would be on your team? Any Marvel? Marvel already has like a Suicide Squad equivalent. It's called Thunderbolts. It's got like Bullseye and Venom and who else? I think Baron Zemo's in there. I don't know. My mind's kind of drawing a blank right now in terms of that. But yeah, I thought like a Marvel Suicide Squad was already a thing that exists. What is your opinion on the MCU take or butchering of Namor the Submariner? Dude, so the thing about that portrayal of Namor is that I feel like if they really wanted the diversity points so badly, why not just cast an Asian guy to play Namor? Because if you look at any of the comics with Namor, look at the dude. He looks Asian. Like, they should just get a super tall, insanely muscular, like Asian, like maybe a Japanese or Chinese actor, cast him as Namor, he'd be perfect. So they made the race change. At first I thought he was Polynesian, but it turns out he was actually South American. It just seems like the most arbitrary change imaginable. And I didn't see the new Black Panther because the first movie did not impress me at all. I was not a fan. I was very, very disappointed by the first movie because Black Panther is one of my favorite Marvel characters, and it was Ryan Coogler directing, and he directed Creed, and I absolutely loved Creed, so I went into that film. I went into Black Panther, the first one, with insanely high expectations, and it did not deliver. Nice spot. Thank you. I agree. I like it as well. I did not like the trailer for the new Indiana Jones, not to mention it's a stupid title. Yeah, it is a very stupid title. And another thing, I am so sick to death of movie trailers for movies that are sequels to like these old, long-running franchises. What is with the obsession with having the original theme played in like this slow-paced, morose, like piano rendition? It's starting to become a cliche now, and it's a very annoying cliche. It's dumb as hell. Honestly, the only thing that might compel me to see this new Indiana Jones film is the fact that it's going to be the last film that John Williams is going to score before he retires. So a part of me is really curious to see if he will actually make a worthwhile sort of swan song film score. It's kind of depressing that this is the film that is going to be the cap-off to his legendary, like, decades-long career. But, I mean, that's how life is sometimes. John Williams, the dude is, like, in his early 90s, I think. He is insanely, insanely old. And to be brutally honest, it kind of reflects in his recent film scores. That's not to say they're bad or anything, but, you know, if you listen to, like, the work he did on the Star Wars sequel trilogy, you know, like, it doesn't feel as full or as memorable or as effective as, like, the scores for the classic trilogy or even the prequels. And I think there's a very good reason for that. I think that's probably because Williams was not working with the London Symphony Orchestra. I remember reading somewhere that, like, he did not make any use of the London Symphony Orchestra for the sequel trilogy, probably because, like, his age prevented him from actually being able to sort of travel in good health to London to actually conduct with them. And that's sad. That's really sad, man. Because, like, the music in the sequel trilogy is so milquetoast, it's so unimpressive. And I feel like for Star Wars, I don't think that's acceptable. Anyways, what do we got here? Marvel kind of had their own Suicide Squad, but a different name. Can't remember what. It's the Thunderbolts, dude. Payphone. Yep. Is Harrison Ford that much older than Liam Neeson? Nobody seems concerned. I think Liam Neeson's in his 70s, I want to say, or like late 60s. I mean, like I said, Harrison Ford is in his 80s. But I mean, if you look at Liam Neeson, though, like the fight scenes in like his recent films are also terrible. Like what was it, the third Taken film? I mean, the way the fight scenes in that film were edited has become like a meme at this point, you know? Let's see. Speaking of Harrison Ford, heard he was replacing William Hurt as General Ross in the MCU. Really? I can't think of many villains that Harrison Ford has played. He might have played some. I can't remember. I thought Harrison Ford mostly did like heroic film roles. Heard the main actress in Indy 5 is kind of a terrible person. Just wanted to crap on the Indy series just to have female Indiana Jones. It's hard to discount those rumors, but I don't think any of us know for sure. So I wouldn't quite jump to conclusions. So cavalier, such a cavalier manner. That's good. John Williams soundtrack, Star Wars prequel trilogy. Yeah, hard to argue with that. I can't think of many memorable John Williams soundtracks that came after. Opinions on Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. I haven't seen that trailer, so I can't really say much about it. Can somebody help me? I'm trying to find out how to dial Destiny on my phone. Good one. Maybe try dialing the streamer Destiny. There you go. Harrison Ford was born in... Oh, so they're 10 years... So Liam Neeson's 10 years younger. Okay. Oh. Okay. That makes sense. But, you know, even, like I said, you watch stuff like the Taken films, and you can see how trash the editing in those films is. I mean, if I didn't know any better, I would say they're done that way because Liam Neeson in his, you know, old age, you know, his fighting ability is, it's probably a bit limited, you know? You know, age does that to a person. Let's see, keep in mind the same writer that wrote the last James Bond film. Wait, really? I didn't know that. Ooh, that doesn't bode well then. That does not bode well at all. Kind of sucks that I actually really like the director, James Mangold. I like a lot of the stuff he's done. I thought that Ford versus Ferrari movie he directed was really, really good. I also really love the film he made called Walk the Line with Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash. I thought that was a great movie. Who is the actress? Oh, I think it's, her name's Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Yes, one of her last name is the same as me. I know, shocking. Don't know what else. The only other thing I'm familiar with that she's done is like some like quirky millennial drama series called Fleabag, where she plays like this sort of promiscuous woman with like a lot of anxiety and mental health issues who's trying to find love, and I hear a lot of people love it, but I'm not really, the subject matter does not really interest me, to be honest. What is your critique, opinions on Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? So, here's the thing. I don't hate Kingdom of the Crystal Skull to the degree that a lot of other people do. I don't hate the film at all. That being said, I think it's subpar. Not a big fan of it. Main thing that kind of turns me off is all the insanely shitty CGI, and I could kind of tell that they digitally sort of assisted Harrison Ford in some of the action sequences. And that whole scene with Shia LaBeouf swinging on the vines along with the monkeys was just trash. I also thought the villain in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was pretty weak, which was really disappointing because it's Cate Blanchett. It's Cate Blanchett playing like this dominatrix, like Russian communist leader. You would think that character would be way more memorable than she ended up being, but I can't remember a single thing about her. I don't remember a whole lot from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I don't hate it. I find a lot of the hate that film gets to be puzzling and strange. Like, I hear people talking about it like it's the single worst film of all time. It's not. It's just bland, like milquetoast, middle of the road sort of adventure film. I mean, it is cool that Indy and Marion get married at the end. You know, it was cool to see Karen Allen back, because I think everybody agrees she's probably the best love interest that Indy's ever had. So, I'm very meh on Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. To, basically, long story short. She plays promiscuous, and I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm a fat guy. Okay, so the thing about that Fleabag show, she plays a character who has like a lot of social anxiety and mental issues, and she tries to sort of forget about them by just sleeping with as many dudes as she can. That's what I've been told about sort of her character in that show. I've not seen the show, so I can't really say a whole lot more. I bet in the next movie Karen Allen dies. Oh my God. If they really do that, that's gonna really piss me off. If she dies off screen, or she and Indy get divorced off screen, that would be such a piece of shit, lame ass move. There's my cat. Then the next movie, I read that already. Did you watch Black Adam? No, I did not. Not really all that interested in Black Adam, to be honest with you. Say hello to my cat. She's the reason I delayed the stream, because I had to stop by the store and get litter for her. If Superman had a movie, would you like to see Parasite and Toyman? Absolutely. I would kill to see Parasite. I think Parasite would be dope. As far as Toyman goes, maybe. Did you see Black Adam? I didn't hate it like everyone else. I think it was a shallow waste of time. Also, people complaining about the nuke the fridge scene despite the older Indy. Yeah. I agree with that 100%. I think there's some double standards when it comes to the nuking the fridge scene, because, dude, do you have any conceivable idea how much ridiculous, unbelievable stuff Indiana Jones survives in the older films? I mean, seriously think about it. In Temple of Doom, he and Short Round and Willie, that was the love interest name. Yeah, Steven Spielberg's wife. Yeah, they grab that air raft out of that falling plane, and they ride it to, like, a river that's at least, like, 2 or 3 or 4 or 500 feet below them, and they're just fine. To me, that's about as plausible as surviving a nuclear blast in a refrigerator. Good God. Or that entire like minecart sequence from Temple of Doom. As awesome as that sequence is, like you try to apply real world logic to it and it doesn't line up. Okay. The character, the movie, or both? Sorry? Yeah, tribute to the past. I don't know what you mean by that question, dude. Also, how would they explain why Indy's son does not appear? Is he really not? Is he really not scheduled to appear in the film? Like, not even as a cameo or anything? That's kind of surprising. You were referring to Black Adam. Yeah, I got no problem with the character of Black Adam. It's just the movie didn't look. It didn't look very compelling. I mean, I guess Hawkman looks pretty cool. Dr. Fate, though, his design looks kind of ugly to me. I may watch it at some point soon, but I was not very. It was definitely not a hotly anticipated film. Also, one thing I actually want to mention about that film. This is such a small, insignificant detail that I think most people probably wouldn't care about. But why does Black Adam in the film have normal, rounded, human-looking ears? In all the comics, in all the different adaptations, Black Adam has always had, like, pointy, like, elf Vulcan ears. To me, that's always been, like, something that made his visual design very unique. You know, it made him stand out, look kind of more villainous. And yet it's nowhere, you don't see that in the film. What, was Dwayne Johnson not willing to, like, wear those little prosthetics to make his ears pointy? Like, I'm sure most of the people who see the film, they're probably not going to give a shit about that, but you know what? I do. I care about small details like that. Okay. Yeah. Would charge more? Why? Why would he charge more? Dude, I've seen so many interviews where he said, dude, he was one of the guys trying to get the movie made in the first place. I remember Dwayne Johnson saying he's a huge fan of the Black Adam character, so it's like you would think he would be willing to just have the little prosthetic ears put on. Also, why would you make that big of a deal about the ears? They're just ears. Okay? I can't think of a single actor who's played like an elf or like a Vulcan in Star Trek who ever complained about the prosthetic ears. Sorry, I'll stop with that tangent because I'm literally just complaining, going on a rant about a fictional character's ears. Let's see. What if Marvel had the Blackest Night? How would Peter Parker react to the Black Lantern, Black Lantern, Uncle Ben, or Black Lantern, Gwen Stacy, or even Magneto? Not sure I would like seeing like undead supervillain versions of Uncle Ben. I mean, Mastermind would probably be cool. Sorry, sorry about that, guys. That was the washing machine. My roommate was washing some clothes. Opinions on Blade Runner 2049? Ooh. I think I'm going to piss some people off with this opinion. I am not a fan of Blade Runner 2049. Not a fan. I think it's probably one of the most overrated film sequels in recent memory. Probably one of the most overrated films in recent memory, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know, probably the way The Rock Johnson would charge more if you mess with his ears. Okay, I already read this one. Rock was kind of miscast as Black Adam. I could see him playing either Steel or Icon. Yeah. I could see him playing Steel. And to say Mutt. Oh, you mean Shia LaBeouf's character? Yeah, that would be kind of lame if they said that he died in Vietnam or some shit. Who's the most evil child, Stewie, Mandy, or Eric Cartman? I don't think Stewie's all that evil. I think Mandy and Cartman are probably tied for the most evil, duplicitous child characters, though, for sure. That was honestly the first performance I ever saw The Rock. You have to admit, I was not impressed. Yeah, welcome to his filmography. The Rock, dude, most people will agree, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is far from being a great actor. Opinions on Darkman? Oh, good choice. Good question. I have a very particular opinion on Darkman. Darkman is really cool because stylistically it feels like Sam Raimi transitioning from doing Evil Dead to doing Spider-Man. Like, it almost feels like a thesis paper on how he would transition from doing Evil Dead to Spider-Man. I think as a movie itself, it's okay. It's definitely got some big issues, but the thing that makes me love it is just the concept. I absolutely love the concept and idea behind Darkman. I think it's brilliant. I think that it's one of the most imaginative sort of superhero sort of comic book type films that's out there. And also, I don't think there's any evidence for this, but I feel like the character of Darkman, you know, guy who covers himself up in bandages and he's able to make himself look like other people. Maybe, to me, it always seemed like Darkman was the main inspiration for the Batman villain Hush. Because, I mean, you look at Hush, he's a guy who covers himself in bandages, looking like a mummy everywhere, but he also, you know, he operates on himself surgically to look like other people. So, if there's no connection, it's a hell of a coincidence, in my opinion. And I think it's even more ironic because I believe Darkman was originally intended to be Sam Raimi doing a pitch for a Batman film. Or was it The Shadow? No, actually, I think it was The Shadow, not Batman. But still, it's a hell of an ironic twist. What if Bruce Wayne came from a poor or middle-class family, actually a pretty cool idea. I would like to see a Batman adaptation that does that. That would be neat. I would be very interested to see how that would be pulled off. Because it feels like Batman and his wealth are like synonymous with each other. I think that would be a good exploration of, whether Bruce Wayne is only like the sum of all his billions of dollars, or if there's more to him than just his gigantic trust fund. That's a cool idea. I think you should. I think maybe some writers should maybe run with that. You wouldn't have Alfred. I don't know. You never know. It could be like they could like rework Alfred into being like an uncle or something. The scene I remember the most from Darkman was Liam Neeson's character. I know the scene you're talking about. He's just going apeshit, trying to get his girlfriend to take the elephant doll. Hey, take the fucking elephant! Take the fucking elephant! Yeah, it's the scene everybody remembers from Darkman because of just how random it is. You can make Alfred the rich person, and after Bruce's family dies in the will, he gets taken care of by Alfred. I'm not sure I like that idea, to be honest. That seems a bit lame. Because, if Alfred was the rich guy and he ends up adopting Bruce, well then that means Bruce gets money now. And I thought the whole point of this concept was a version of Batman that doesn't have the insane wealth. I'm not sure I like that idea, if I'm being completely honest. Would Commissioner Gordon even know who he was without the Wayne family donations? Well, there are some versions of the Batman mythos where Jim Gordon does know Batman's identity. What if Clark Kent was raised in a wealthy family or city family? I'm not sure it would make that big of a difference. Because you gotta think, Clark Kent, he's got like his family's ranch in Smallville, but he's got way more than that. He's got the Fortress of Solitude. And the Fortress of Solitude has all manner of wealth. He's got a freaking like alien zoo up in that thing. He's got statues of his parents. He's got all sorts of like Kryptonian sort of relics and technology and stuff. I think in some versions he has like an army of like robot drones that sort of maintains the place as well. Like there's some versions of the Fortress of Solitude that are just really just big and grand and opulent. So, I don't know. I feel like changing Superman to be like a super wealthy character, I feel like it wouldn't really affect his character that much. I think it wouldn't really work the same because like if you take Batman and you strip him of his wealth. That's interesting because most of the insane stuff Batman is able to do is because of his technology, because of his resources. You strip him of those, then what are you left with? I think that's a really fascinating question. I think that should be explored somewhere. It could work. Growing up in Kansas, there are a lot of rich farmers, but they don't really have the Midwest values. I'm not going to get into that. Well, I mean, okay. There has been a version of Superman that was sort of raised by people with very morally questionable values. You know, there's the Red Sun story where he's raised in the Soviet Union. There's that animated film, Gods and Monsters, where he's like General Zod's son and he's raised by like cartel members or something. Have you seen Gravity Falls? No, I have not. Is it good? I may check it out. I like Superman being raised in Kansas because I like how he came from humble beginnings. Yeah, I think that's the ingenious part about his origin story is that, you know, when you first see Superman as an infant and he's on Krypton and Krypton is full of grandeur and it's full of opulence and it's this like perfect looking utopian like alien society that's about to be destroyed. Then he gets sent off to Earth, and he's raised by a couple of farmers. I think that's like, I think, you know, it's the contrast between the two things that makes his origin story so good and so memorable. Or it's one of the things that makes his origin story so good. Behind? Let's see. Opinions on the game Spec Ops: The Line. I have not played that game. I heard that game had a really crazy, dark and subversive storyline that was kind of very like critical of sort of the whole action game genre. So I may give that game a try. But I think that's cool. It also takes inspiration from Heart of Darkness. So I think that's pretty appropriate. Growing up in Kansas, living in Kansas, you get so many Superman jokes, no Wizard of Oz jokes. Oh, really? Are you native to Kansas, Junebug? Who would win in a fight, Dexter or Jimmy Neutron? Are you referring to the Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory? I'm assuming that's who you mean, and not the Dexter from the live-action TV show, the guy who chases after serial killers. To be perfectly honest, I have no idea. Yes, born and raised in America's heartland. It's awesome. That's cool, dude. Glad to hear that. I hope you stay safe out there, because from what I hear, Kansas gets very easily overrun with tornadoes. What is your interpretation of the ending from Apocalypse Now? I'm very glad you asked me that. So, I'm thinking I might do like a film analysis video on Apocalypse Now, and specifically the ending. Because I feel like the last 10 or 15 minutes of that film is full of such incredibly powerful imagery. You got the shots where, like, yeah, Martin Sheen's character, his head, like, emerging from the mud. One of my favorite shots, too, is the one where you see him kneeling next to the big stone steps that leads into Kurtz's house, as if he's a statue. And you look at him, you think he's a statue, but then he starts to move. It almost feels like it becomes a horror movie, or becomes like a fairy tale, to where like Martin Sheen is kind of like the boogeyman or the Grim Reaper coming to collect the toll and take Kurtz's life. It's almost like he's a demon that's summoned from all these natives kind of sacrificing this bull. That's kind of the way I see it, because I feel like that's the way Coppola filmed it. It makes Martin Sheen's character, when he's covered from head to toe in all that mud, and the fact that he's so silent and so so determined, he looks very monstrous and very just very intimidating. But yeah, if you've never seen Apocalypse Now, you should definitely see it. Bold Lion, how's it going, bro? Good to see you in here. There's a misconception about Kansas. We get tornadoes, but that's more Oklahoma or Texas. Oh. Yeah, I've heard Oklahoma is also rife with tornadoes. Let me tell you something. I've always been especially frightened of tornadoes because it feels like with a lot of other sort of natural events, they have sort of an abstract nature to them. Because when you look at thunderstorms, it's mainly just all sort of atmospheric stuff. You get rain, you get thunder, but it's not like sort of it's not represented as sort of a singular thing or object. Tornadoes are different. Tornadoes look like gigantic physical objects that are coming directly towards you, and that has always unsettled me and terrified me about them. When I was super young, like in 4th grade, I was scared to death of tornadoes. How are you? I'm doing all right, man. I've had a long, very tiring day. Just got back from the gym. My legs are sore as hell. I have a cat next to me. Cat that likes to roll around on her back. Well, Martin Sheen, I wish I could find the interview, said when he was thinking of that scene, he thought of Bela Lugosi, tried to... Wow! So I wasn't far off with that analogy. That's awesome. So yeah, it was basically like they were trying to portray his character as sort of a monster that's coming for Kurtz in the night. That's really cool. Yeah, I think I need to add Apocalypse Now to the list of films I'm going to do, like, filmmaking analysis videos of, because there's probably a lot of really great material that film will provide me with. Also, growing up in Kansas, people usually have one of two favorite movies, Twister or Roadhouse. Wait, no Wizard of Oz? Really? What if Darth Vader and Dark Helmet from Spaceballs met each other? How would they react? My guess would be Dark Helmet would very quickly get on Darth Vader's nerves, and Vader would just kill him and forget he even saw him. That would be my guess. Why was Martian Manhunter replaced by Cyborg as a Justice League founder? Well, there is a reason for that. It's because the version of the Justice League that was in the 2017 film was based on the New 52 iteration. Because you got to think, these films were all planned and sort of being scripted around the time that the whole New 52 relaunch that DC was doing was going on. And if you remember the New 52, those Justice League comics specifically had Cyborg taking Martian Manhunter's place. Why? I have no idea, but that's just how it was. I like Twister. To each their own. I'm not a big fan of it. Well, I'm a self-described film historian, to be honest. I probably should get a job at Turner Classic Movies as long as I get a date with Alicia Malone. Ooh, very nice. A film historian. Like, do you have a degree or anything? I'm just curious, dude. I'm not trying to question or challenge your credentials or anything. Who would win in a fight? Darkman versus The Crow. The characters, not the movie themselves. I'd probably go with The Crow because that dude is immortal unless Darkman gets his hand on one of his crows and figures out that he needs to, like, hurt the crow in order to render him mortal. Because if I remember correctly, in the original Crow movie, that's how they sort of turn the tables on him. Is the main villain's sister, like, kills or harms one of his pet crows. Or maybe Darkman could fool him with a prop gun that fires a real bullet instead of a blank. Oh, God. I'm sorry, that was in really shitty taste. Oh, that was bad. I shouldn't have said that. No, hence the word self-described. I've watched countless documentaries about film history. Same, dude. Same. Man after my own heart. Just watch lots of content, consume lots of content. I remember being a kid, I was obsessed with all the behind-the-scenes documentaries on the DVDs that my parents got me. Now, as an adult, I get very, very crotchety and very upset when a new release is bare bones on the extra features. In fact, that's the reason why I have. One thing. Let me grab something real quick. I'll be right back. So some of you may have seen this, but this is the Criterion collection of all the Godzilla movies that have been released from like the 50s to the 70s. Now, it's awesome being able to have every single Showa era film in one nice little collection, but the thing that disappoints me about it is that none of the films have any memorable extra features. And I do have sort of different versions of the individual films in my DVD collection that have more interesting bonus features. So I decided to keep them for that very reason. I didn't throw them out once I bought that collection. And I'm glad. I'm really glad. Can I see your cat again? Sure. She's all the way over there, licking herself. Let's see. Opinions on the passing of Kevin Conroy. Boy, what a tragedy that is. Dude, I feel like that event just came out of nowhere. Holy crap. Feels like it feels like it's starting to become a very uncomfortable pattern with certain actors, I guess, concealing the fact that they've been battling cancer. But yeah, that's awful. I'm so sorry that happened to Kevin Conroy. I don't think he's going to be forgotten anytime soon. Conroy was the first actor that I was exposed to in my life that introduced me to the character of Batman. Because the animated series was my introduction to the character. I watched the animated series before I saw the Burton films, before I saw the Adam West films, before I read any of the comics. So he will be missed. Passing of a legend. Have you seen the Dodgers cartoon series? Last time I saw that show was when I was probably in middle school. Haven't watched any of it recently. Apparently James Gunn was hired to run the DC movies from now on and said they're structuring a 10-year plan. Okay. Was he involved in the production of Black Adam? I'm curious. Fun question. If you were to make a movie starring Bruce Lee and Clint Eastwood together, what would it be about and how would it look? Oh, wow. Wow. Bruce Lee and Clint Eastwood. I'm going to need a little bit of time to think on this one. That is an excellent question, but I'm not entirely sure what I would say. So the concept I'm sort of batting around with is maybe having Bruce Lee be like a Shaolin disciple, teaming up with Clint Eastwood, who's a gunslinger, but that sounds like it would be the most obvious cliched example. And plus, there's already been a movie done like that. There's this early 70s movie called Red Sun that had Charles Bronson and Toshiro Mifune in it. Mifune, of course, played the samurai who was teaming up with Bronson's character, who was a gunslinger outlaw in the Wild West. So I don't know. I need some time to grapple with that question because that would be a really cool idea for a film. You know, if Bruce Lee hadn't passed on. No, it's cool about the questioning. We're all movie fans. I just happen to know a lot about 1914 to about 1993. Oh! To the year I was born, huh? Oh, James Gunn was just hired as the head of DC for November 1st. Okay. Forgot to mention the passing of Jason David Frank. Oh, yes. Yeah, I did forget to mention that. How crazy is that? That in like a very short amount of time we lose both Batman and the Green Ranger. That's nuts, dude. I actually looked into what happened with Jason David Frank, and apparently all the rumors saying it was suicide were indeed true. But there were a lot of rumors going around that he committed suicide because his wife was going to divorce him, and that turned out to be bullshit because his wife actually came and made a statement clarifying things. So what really happened with Jason David Frank is that, like, I think a year or two ago, his daughter died, and that put that put his relationship with his wife, that really put them through a meat grinder for a bit, an emotional meat grinder. They were kind of on really bad terms. So they were talking about divorcing, but literally only a couple days before he actually killed himself, they agreed to stay together. Now, I can't begin to imagine what that's like, at least his wife, to be this close to getting into a divorce, having the marriage healed, and then having that happen. That, I can't imagine what that's like. That's horrible. So I'm glad I didn't jump on the retarded, like, reactionary bandwagon of people who are trying to accuse his wife of, I don't know, like, being selfish and divorcing him for no reason. I think that was really shitty. Is Clint Eastwood the age of Liam or Harrison? Oh no, Clint Eastwood's way older than Liam Neeson or Harrison Ford. Yeah, Clint Eastwood is very, very old. Make it a Western where Clint Eastwood is a U.S. Marshal, like in the vein of Wild Bill Hickok, and Bruce Lee's the villain. He must go after him. I don't know if Bruce Lee would have been comfortable playing a villain, though. I mean, maybe he would. I think what would be more likely to happen is that they would team up. '70s buddy cop rush hour movie starring Bruce Lee and Richard Pryor. Would you watch it? I don't know. I love Richard Pryor. I think he's funny as hell, but I'm not sure if he would actually play off of Bruce Lee very well. Maybe I'm a bit biased because I'm not actually a fan of the Rush Hour films, personally. Could Clint Eastwood play Green Hornet in his younger days? Yeah, very likely could have. But I think the Green Hornet was airing, like, as Clint Eastwood was, I think that show aired as Clint Eastwood was really breaking out because of the Sergio Leone films and stuff like that. Stuff you said about the wife is sad. Yeah, dude. I heard rumors that it had happened because of divorce, but they were just rumors. I didn't decide one way or the other how to feel about it. You know, it's like the old saying about two sides to each, or three sides to each story. My side, your side, and the truth. Or however the hell that saying goes. Alright. Opinions on those Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson team-up movies, Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights. Blah. Not a fan. I think they're pretty trash. I think that Shanghai Nights film especially felt like a waste of Donnie Yen. Chuck Norris presented him the script for Lone Wolf McQuade and asked Bruce if he could play the villain. Bruce was interested. Oh, okay. So I guess he wasn't averse to playing villains then. Would have been interesting to see Bruce Lee play an antagonist. Have I missed any comments? So Junebug, do you have like a personal top 10 I'm curious. Personal top 10 favorites. Enter the Dragon remake starring Tony Jaa from Ong Bak and the Raid films. Tony Jaa wasn't in the Raid. Donnie Yen as Han. Would you watch it? Yeah, probably. I'm not sure what the purpose of an Enter the Dragon remake would be, but I mean, if it's got Tony Jaa and Donnie Yen together, it would at least have really awesome fight sequences. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Ang Lee is directing a Bruce Lee biopic, and he casted his son, Mason Lee, to play Bruce. Nothing can beat Dragon the Bruce Lee story. Fully agreed. I love Dragon the Bruce Lee story. Very emotional film. And an incredible score, too. I mean, Dragon the Bruce Lee story is not very accurate with the events that took place in his life, but I still think it's a good tribute to Bruce Lee. Done a top 20 on my channel, even working right now for about a year on my top. Holy shit, top 500? Wow. I have a top 300 I've been working on myself. Confused Tony Jaa with Iko Uwais. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's all good, dude. It's all good. That guy's badass, too. Iko Uwais. I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name. I remember, have any of you seen this, that Keanu Reeves film, Man of Tai Chi? It's I think it's the first film that Keanu Reeves directed. He plays the bad guy in it, and the main character is the guy who was his stunt coordinator and fight choreographer in the Matrix films. A guy named Tiger Chen. Yeah, Tiger Chen. That was his name. That was a pretty damn awesome movie. I recommend it. It's got really awesome fight scenes. And Iko Uwais, he's actually in that too. Dragon Part 2, the Brandon Lee story. Oh. Yeah, that could be interesting. I think Brandon Lee definitely deserves a bit more recognition for the films he did apart from The Crow. What if Jackie Chan played the villain in Lethal Weapon? I assume you mean the fourth Lethal Weapon that had Jet Li as the villain? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know how well that would work. Okay, it is 9:30, so we've been streaming for about a good hour. I'm probably going to go for probably a few more minutes, guys, but I just want to say thank you all for showing up. It's been a good night catching up with all of you. The only reason top 500 is because nobody's done it on YouTube, and I'd like to take the challenge. I don't have the list with me right now. I think I end up to 335 that I wrote down. Yeah, so I've been making sort of my top 300 using that site Letterboxd. So I haven't really updated that list on Letterboxd in a while. am an active user on Letterboxd. In fact, you know what? I don't know if any of you have a Letterboxd account, but I could sort of share my account in there. Yes, I've seen that movie. Yep, he sure did. I think that was the first film he directed. Add to starring in the Enter the Dragon remake. Keanu Reeves as Roper? Okay. That's an interesting choice. Yeah, Roper he was John Saxon's character. Wasn't he like a rich guy on the run from the mob? Could Keanu Reeves play a character like that? I'm not entirely sure. Scott Adkins as O'Hara, Robert Wall character. Well, wait a minute. I think those two casting decisions should be reversed. I think you should have Scott Adkins playing Roper, because I can see Scott Adkins sort of playing kind of a Playboy-esque sort of rich guy on the run from the mob, probably a little better than Keanu Reeves. Plus, Keanu Reeves is pretty tall and intimidating. I think he'd make a pretty good O'Hara. I don't know who would play the Jim Kelly character. I would say maybe Michael Jai White as the Jim Kelly character. I don't know. That'd be my best guess that I can think of right now. I don't have social media. The only thing I have is YouTube, and yes, no Letterboxd, huh? To be honest, I can't really blame you. Letterboxd is, I guess it's good for sort of cataloging the films that you're watching, but holy shit, the community on there is toxic and just atrocious. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is a fun question. I think it's a nice little sort of thought experiment, for sure. Last question. If superhero movies didn't exist, which characters would you want to direct? I would want to direct a film of Ghost Rider, because I think I could do. I feel like I could do that character justice, because I'm a very big Ghost Rider fan. He's my favorite Marvel character. Is Cyclops a good hand-to-hand combatant without his optic blast? Yeah. Yeah, in the comics I've read, yeah, Cyclops can throw down, and he's a pretty good hand-to-hand combatant when he has to be. Opinions on the Die Hard films. I really love the first Die Hard. I like the second one. I like the third one. I also, believe it or not, I like the fourth one. So I like the first four Die Hard films. The fifth one is a piece of shit. It's terrible. It's not very good. I definitely have a lot of respect for Die Hard. I don't quite love it the same way lots of other people do. I think when it comes to the stuff that John McTiernan directs, I would probably prefer Predator and Hunt for Red October, though I do enjoy Die Hard a lot. Why not just pick an unknown to play Brandon? I mean, yeah, they kind of did that with Bruce in Dragon Bruce Lee story, didn't they? They got that guy Jason Scott Lee. I don't think he was very well known. Who would win in a fight? Icon from DC or Sentry from Marvel? Icon, because Sentry sucks. Sentry is such a lame-ass character. Alright. It's 9:42 for me, so yeah, I think I'm just going to keep the stream going for a couple more minutes, guys. But it was great catching up with all of you. I should probably tell you what's going on with the projects. I haven't worked on the Predator video since before I moved, but I do intend to go back to working on it. I was a bit more than halfway. I was getting close to being at least halfway done with the Predator video. So I'm still working on the book. In fact, I'm going to finish writing a chapter from my book tonight after I stop streaming. And after I get something to eat, I'm gonna cook some food after I end the stream. And you get to see my cat before I end it for the night. So I'll answer a couple more questions. Also, I was thinking cast Jackie Chan as Han in a What If Enter the Dragon. Well, yeah, he's out of his prime, and also I don't know if he could be like an intimidating presence like the original Han actor was. Is Captain America a better fighter than Batman? Pretty sure there was like a crossover comic where they fought to a tie. But honestly, I feel like realistically, I would say, yeah, Captain America could probably outfight Batman because he's got the super soldier formula, and that gives him some superhuman enhancements. Had an idea for a comic, The Punisher, in a Dark Knight Returns type of setting. That's actually a really cool idea. I think that's an idea that's worth exploring. I know they did like a Dark Knight Returns type thing for Spider-Man. I've not read that comic, but I've heard some people say it was good. All right. So, what is it? 9:45. Yeah, I think we've been streaming for about an hour and like 15 minutes now. Only reason I thought cast Jackie Chan as Han. Oh, because you wanted to reference the cameo character he played. Okay. Well, then would you cast Sammo Hung as well? Because you gotta remember, like, Sammo Hung, he's like the first guy you see Bruce Lee beat in a fight in that movie. Is Wonder Woman stronger than She-Hulk? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know all that much about She-Hulk, to be completely honest with you. I know a fair bit about Wonder Woman, though. The actor who played Bolo, too. Oh, yeah, Bolo Young, the guy from Bloodsport as well. It's super big, buff, Schwarzenegger-looking Asian dude. Yeah, just a couple more minutes, guys. Just a couple more minutes. Like, it's 9:47 for me. I'm probably gonna end it at 9:50. So, if you got any more questions, send them now. Well, I really thought so. The Punisher in that type of setting, and this would be a dark comic titled Punisher Love Me Forever after the Motorhead song. Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not the same present. Oh, I gotcha. Great live stream. Yeah, I did the best I can considering how tired and exhausted I was. You think we'll get another Batman villain instead of Joker, maybe Two-Face? I assume you're talking about for the Pattinson films? I don't know. Maybe. I would like to see Hush as a central villain in one of the films, since in the Pattinson film, like, they directly reference him. Have you read the original superhero John Carter? I haven't, but I need to go through the original, like, Edgar Rice Burroughs characters. I need to read the characters he wrote, like John Carter and Tarzan and all that, because, man, dude, I've read all of the original Howard Conan stories. I've read all of H.P. Lovecraft's stories. Edgar Rice Burroughs I have not touched yet. Edgar Rice Burroughs, I've read some stuff with, like, The Shadow and Doc Savage and all that. Yeah, I'll answer this question before I end the stream. Joker 2, Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn. I hope that's not true, because I'm not too impressed with Lady Gaga as an actress. I hope the movie's good, because I love the first Joker film. Yeah, she never appears in a Batman film, probably because Margot Robbie doesn't want her to be like a secondary character, I guess. Yep. Alright, it's 9:50. I'm going to end the stream now, guys. Gonna cook me some food. Gonna finish writing my chapter. Maybe put a movie on or something. Just relax, because it's been a hell of a long day for me, but I'm glad I got to reconnect with all of you, see what you're all doing, and show off my new place. So, thank you everyone for showing up. You all take care. And as always, I'll update you on the progress of my projects. So, with that, have a good night. Thank you, Neozoic. Hope you have luck with your own projects as well, bro.